203. 203. D.mac music.
When I'm back in, so the hands be like, when we gon' tap in. So they got weed, we should be trapping. I wanna get blind, I hit from the back end. 203, I'm kinda like Batman. You think it's a joke, no, I'm not clapping. Think it's a joke, no, I'm not laughing. Look at the lights, no, they flash the yeah, camera phone lights, point at you, no, they flashing. Yeah.
203.
Yeah, RJ know that he got it. RJ stepping on his nothing. RJ know that he been watching. Yeah, RJ leave pussy drop. Fucking from the back. Fucking from the back. When my hands on behind, she doing it on face. She doing it on face. She doing it on face. She wanna find mom. She done with them niggas. Yeah, she done with them niggas to get out of like a box. She belonging. Yeah, but I see how they take this out of my body. I know that you clap yeah. Camera phone lights when I text you, know they flashing. I am around, look, they be capping. They be jazzing. I know that they want me to walk in the club, gotta see me in the back. Yeah, show them I keep me on, bro, keep on. They know we ain't lying. How they gonna tell me I'm wildin' up for real? So I'm a Jackson. They know that I'm different, it's how they tweet. I'm outside every day, I'm out in the week. Don't text my bitch, I would be beat. I fuck that hoe, if she look decent. You see these lights and all these shows that phone calls, she keep losing. I could've passed with your gang, they're trying to get in.
Hola! What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Montana. You are now tuned in to Real Rap Podcast. Y'all see me all the time, but who am I here with today, huh?
D.mac Mizzle. I'm in the building. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a real honor.
Mizzo, wagwan, man. Ayo, Jay. Yo, so Mizzo, we always gotta do this. Every episode, we gotta let the people know where you from.
Well, I'm from the 203. That's obvious. 203.
Yes.
Me in Montana, we started doing that. So you see people doing that, started here first.
Yeah, we need to. Yo, you see niggas start doing that? No, we gonna let it rock. We gonna let it be universal.
We want everybody to do it.
We want everybody to do it. That's a fact.
But I'm really from the town of Trumbull, right next to Bridgeport.
Okay. So what it was like growing up in Trumbull?
It was a suburban lifestyle. I went to school. I went to high school. I played football.
Oh, you play football?
Yeah.
What did you play?
I played defensive end.
Okay, respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
We
Fast off the line.
We went 8-3.
Okay, you was tough. Okay, I respect.
It was a good year.
So
Yeah, I loved playing football, being on the team. That was awesome.
Okay, so at what point in time did you realize, like, okay, I might want to do music? Like, when did music get introduced?
I started music when I was like, I started just fucking around, writing like raps, joking around. But I really started to make music when my mom passed away when I was little.
Oh, condolences.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Condolences.
Yeah, she passed away when I was like 12 or 13, and then that's when I really started to do music for like, cause I was depressed. So that's when I started. I met my boy, Play MD. You could check him out. He still makes music. Shout out Play. That's my boy. Me and him, we started making music when we were like going into high school. Like every day that summer, we were making songs, and that's kind of when I started my journey to music. I always like looked up to Wayne.
Okay.
This was around the time like Drake first started coming out, so I fucked with Drake. Wayne was a really big influence. Young Money was a huge influence. Kanye West was a big influence. Jay-Z, all the 2000s hip hop was really a big influence on me growing up. Like even Eminem. Like Eminem might have been like the first time I ever seen like a rap music video was like when my cousin was watching like TRL or something when I was like little. So I seen like one of his music videos. He was dressed up like Robin.
Okay.
So I think that's why I remembered it, because I was little. I like Batman when I was little.
Okay. So you listening to all this 2000s music or whatever, right? When you first start writing, are you trying to sound like Eminem, Lil Wayne, and all of them?
Yeah, I tried to sound like Eminem. a lot when I was little. I tried to sound like Eminem, and then like I tried to like morph it into like Wayne, because when I was growing up, and Wayne went on his like mixtape run, so that was a big impact on. I listened to that, downloading it off of MP3s and shit. That on the bus, it was like that's what really made me fall in love with hip hop. Was like on the bus, like if you had the new songs and you were showing like the new shit, like you were cool, like you were really that guy.
With you,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I remember on the bus, I always had the new shit because I was always on the blogs, like hot new hip hop, and I was always downloading the new shit so I could show everybody. So that was kind of like my first where I fell in love with hip hop was riding on the bus and showing everybody the songs that are new, and we'd like sing them together. It was lit.
Okay. And how old are you at this time?
I'm like 13.
So at 12, 13, you rapping too?
Yeah, I started writing, and then I started, I didn't really drop anything though until I was like 16, 17. I dropped a mixtape in high school. I was like, I don't remember what I was, a sophomore or a junior. I dropped a mixtape called Bright Lights, but I just rapped on like a bunch of instrumentals from the time, like Burn by Meek Mill.
Okay.
What else did I rap on? I rapped on, what's that Big Sean, Kanye West, and Jay-Z song? I forget. It's like from back then. I rapped on a few joints. I rapped on a lot of songs like Lil Wayne rapped on the Carter 4. Not the Carter 4, the Dedication 4. Yeah, I forgot. It was like Click.
Okay.
Click. It was Click. I did a Click remix.
I remember.
I did a bunch of remixes. That's what I was, because that was big. Because I was big inspired by Wayne, so I wanted to do a lot of metaphors and punchlines. That was really what like inspired me in hip hop. And then from there, I just dropped that mixtape. It was called Bright Lights, and I was like yelling Bright Lights on it. I was like Bright Lights. So everybody was always in high school. They were yelling Bright Lights. It was pretty funny. And I would like go to the media center whenever I was dropping like a mixtape, and I would like print out what I called like propaganda, and I would tape it around the school. Like the lunch waves. When you walk out the lunch wave, you'd have to see.
You gotta see the sign.
Yeah, because I taped up. A lot of people would take them down and shit, but I do that before the lunch waves. I did that because I dropped like 2 mixtapes when I was in high school. But they were both on CD.
Okay.
I linked up with the audio guy in this high school. He gave me he didn't give it to me, but he let me use it. They had like at Trumbull High School, they had like a 10-disc burner, so you put in 1 disc and it would burn 10. So I was doing that, and then I handed out like 200 CDs or something like that. But yeah, that was fun. That was like really when I started to grind on music. I was making music with my boy Ty. Shout out Ty. Shout out my boy Dontrell, Suki LOB. Because I played football with Suki, and I knew Ty from high school, and we linked up, and that's kind of how I started to meet a lot of people from Bridgeport, because they hung out with people from Bridgeport. Like they lived in Avalon. I don't even think it's called Avalon anymore, but it's not too far from the Terrace. And then people would come up and play basketball and shit from the Terrace. So it was like that's how I got introduced to a lot of people.
Bulls at 7.
And I played not basketball. I played football with this dude named Gotti, and he got me linked up with RMF.
Okay, shout out RMF.
And then that was after high school, but I got linked up with RMF. I helped them I was a part of their staff when they did a couple Ready Whips. I've helped with a few things. I think I helped with their t-shirts a little bit a couple times. So I am RMF.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's how, and then flash forward, like I'm doing my own thing. I'm out, I linked up with some people in New York who do shows. My boy Poof, shout out Lil Poof. And I'm doing he's doing showcases in every state and making it a tour. Like he'd do a showcase in New York. He'd do a showcase in Connecticut. I'd help him do a showcase in Connecticut, and then he'd get somebody else to help him do a showcase in Maine and Mass. And he'd have 5 dates, and then he'd bang them out and do a tour. So I started doing that shit with him. And then after that got done, I linked up with I during that time I came back to Bridgeport to see what was popping, and I walked into Rum and Tequila on a Wednesday, and they were doing the Vibe Outs. I don't know if you ever went to
Vibe Out
one of the
Wednesdays?
Vibe Out Wednesdays back in, this is like 2-3 years ago now. This is when like I started to notice that Bridgeport was actually like growing a scene that when I was younger we didn't really have scenes. I feel like too much popping. Like people would pop off, but like it wasn't like a community as I realized that I was doing shows and stuff. Because I became a DJ because I wanted to like build community with like in the music scene out here. So we could do showcases, we could do parties, and we could like push the music and develop like a whole scene, you know, and a culture out here, so we could push everybody up and build the whole community. So I was doing that with Lil Poof, and I was so shocked that it was happening in Bridgeport, and I hadn't realized it. So I was like, damn, this is cool. I came out to a few of them. I think I performed at one of them, and then I had to go back on the road with Poof, and then I know that they stopped doing them at Rum and Tequila, and they started doing them at other places, and I just seen the scene growing. So then I got inspired. I wanted to do something called 203 Fest, so I did the first 203 Fest, and it was in Derby at this place called River Rock Tavern, because my boy Sensei, shout out Sensei, he linked me in and he helped me throw the first 203 Fest. We were linked in with the bar people there. He was friends with them. I knew them from going there a couple times, and we just did it on their patio. It was not the biggest patio, but it was a decent enough size where I think we had like maybe like 100 people out there.
Okay, I was like,
But it looked great because like we had like a stage and it was lit, and we went all day. So it was like, it was a real festival vibe. And that's when, after that, I linked up because I was trying to get like everybody from out here because my idea with 203 Fest was like, it's like a Rolling Loud
type.
for us in Connecticut. So I'm like, all right, well, we got to get the best to perform, like, you know. And I didn't really it's really for the community. So it was like, I did free entry for anybody pop out because we also got the venue for free. So it's free entry. So I was talking to people. I talked to Dose, because shout out Dose. He was one of the first headliners I tried to book and successfully booked. And I booked him because of his, like, he had a prolific run in like from 2016 to 2019 at least, because he did a lot of collab. He did a lot. He's still doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
shout out those.
he was one of the goats out here. I was like, bet, gotta lock in him. And then I'd seen from the Vibe Outs, I had met Samar Foe. Samar Foe was the first person I seen since Dose who like captured that like electrifying like move. It's just like, because I seen the effect that when Dose had his run did to the scene, and then I seen it happening with Samar, and this was like the beginnings. So I was like, I really gotta get bro, but I didn't know him. I knew him, but I didn't really like know him.
No, like that.
Like I DJ'd for him one time because this dude I was throwing showcases with tried to copy the Vibe Outs. I think that's what he was trying to do. He tried to copy the Vibe Outs and did a showcase in the back of Rum and Tequila. So he had me DJing because I was doing a lot of stuff with him. That's when I met Samar, and I met Perk. I met Perk and Samar, and Perk was like, yo, you gotta put us, I was gonna let anybody who came back there and signed up perform, like, but Perk was like selling it to me. He was like, yo, we're lit as fuck, like, you gotta let me and Samar Foe perform, you will not be disappointed. And I was like, bet, like, I got you, which I was gonna say to anybody. So I was like, it was just funny to me that he felt the need to sell himself, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, let's go, I'm hyped. And I've done a lot of showcases. And, you know, people pop out with, like, one or two of their friends, maybe the most, usually. But, like, most showcases, it didn't go like that. When they performed, like, it was like people came out of nowhere, and it was, like, lit. It looked like it was like a club at that moment when they performed. It was Samar and Perk, and that's when I heard the I'm Different record by Samar for the first time. And I was like, oh, shit. This is crazy that this is happening in Bridgeport right now. So that was part of the inspiration for 203 Fest, why I wanted to get Samar. So I was like reaching out to a bunch of different people. I reached out to JR, This Is Lit, and JR was doing a plug and play, and he told me, come do the plug and play. I could plug you in with a lot of people out there. Well, and so I went to the plug and play. It was at Just Right Studios at the time, and I did a couple songs. And that's when I met Samar, and I was like, I told him about 203 Fest, and I think that's when I locked him in officially. Because he did end up calling me like the next day, I think, or something like that, and we locked it in. So that's kind of my journey with with music here in Connecticut. I've been trying to build a scene. I had him, I had a few R&B people, and it was like that's how I came out here. And then I eventually got involved here in the studio.
Studio, for those who don't know?
Oh, the Hub Studios, where we record. Shout out the Hub.
Yes.
Yes. So I knew a lot of people. I knew JR. He was there doing Tune Fest. So I tried to help. I wanted to help them do some promo. So we linked up with them to do some promo. I came out here to the Hub for the first time. I seen the spot and it was lit. I talked to Dominique, which I already knew Dominique from the past because I was in RMF. So he's like, yeah, I'm really trying to get an electrician in here. And like to do these lights, and like we got a lot of construction here we need to do. And I was like, oh, whoa, I'm an electrician, that's my day job, so I'll just do the lights for you, I'll come and do them tomorrow. He's like, all right, bet. And I pulled up the next day and I started doing all the lights, and I helped out with the electrical. We ended up building the booths, and then that's kind of how I developed my way into here. And we started then. Diddy created Live from the Hub with Gimme, and I was helping them in the beginning a little bit. I made the logo that they used at the time, and that was kind of my whole thing, was like just helping anywhere I can in the community to try to like build it up and just grow the community. So, because I always wanted Connecticut to be like a place where musicians, and I wanted to showcase us because we got a lot of talent out here. I know everybody says all that shit, but
that's a vibe.
I do believe that Connecticut has a lot to offer that is unknown to a lot of markets, and it could be of a lot of value. So I feel like we have to build it here so we can own it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, there's a lot, like there's been people from Connecticut who blow up and then they'll jack New York, like
type.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Jack
fact
New
too.
York. They might have lived there like, I don't know, when they were younger.
Up until they were like 5, and then they went to like middle school, elementary school, middle school, and high school out here. But they're gonna always say that they're from New York.
Yeah. Like there's probably other artists that we don't even know about from the past. There could have been a lit artist from Connecticut. They just jacked New York because they
That's a fact.
stayed out there for a couple months.
That's a fact. So how do you balance being an artist and trying to like curate a culture here in Connecticut?
It is a little bit of a juggle. It's not necessarily. I do a good job of balancing it because the way I look at it is out in Connecticut, the shows and the showcases we do, they're not really about me, like, you know what I'm saying? So I look at it as building the community and bringing as many people as we can together. So if that means, I got to open up, you know what I'm saying? And so-and-so's got to go later, or we got, to bring out anybody we can is really what I look for. If I got a DJ and I don't perform, it's just fine. I just want to make an active community out here. So the way I balance that, on social media, I kind of just continue to drop music on like a routinely basis, and I try to stick to like every 90 days I try to drop, if not something new, a visual of something that was prior, to something that's already out, is what my MO is, because I'm really trying to attack the internet as an artist. That's what I feel like the big game is your presence on social media,
the content,
how you attack the content. Like you gotta really develop like a funnel of your content to direct people to what you want to. It's because people want to. You're trying to sell people things almost, right? As artists,
basically,
right? But what do we do as people when we come across advertisements?
You gonna scroll right by some shit.
Skip them. Skip them. So if your music is being presented in a way where it's clearly an advertisement, people are just gonna skip it because that's what our brains are programmed to do, kind of at this point. Mm-hmm. So it's all about ways, which I'm learning too, because the internet is always like evolving, of like getting people to your content. Like if you're just posting those videos with you in front of a microphone, that's like the bottom of the funnel, like, because that's where you're trying to sell people to the song. So you got to get things to get people down there. It's like you got to like really branch out and like figure out creative ways to like attach your music to certain things, like maybe it might be nostalgic or like movies or something, pop culture, where you could try to like get people who fuck with that to your music, because that's kind of like you got to develop your artist brand as like a who's trying to listen to your music. Like me, I'm still kind of developing this too. It's like my music is for the people, like it's late night, you're driving, and you might because I got different vibes where I be on some singing where I'm like kind of in my feelings, moody kind of vibe, but also where I'm lit and I'm hyped and confident, you know. So that's kind of my MO, is like my music is for those type of people. It's like late night, you're driving, it's probably cold, and you're either feeling a little moody, but like you're trying to get in your bag. I'm looking for like that person, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how you got to frame how you're going to sell your brand, because then it's from there you're like, all right, well, how do I get to those people? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's where I'm just trying to learn those type of things and help other artists and other people just grow their brands. Like I be trying to help anybody who's creative out here. If I have an idea, I'll throw it their way. Like,
no, that's dope. That's dope, because not a lot of people are like that. A lot of people are leeches, you get what I'm saying? So it's cool to have people out here who just genuinely want to see the culture do good. But speaking on that though, right, what do you feel as if is holding the culture back in some area?
What's holding the culture back? I think the problem is like it's hard because not everybody really knows how to drop a song. Like people know how to post a song and put it on all social medias and streaming platforms, but not a lot of people really know how to release a song and correctly distribute it, like because like you're especially there's levels to the game, and you got to pick a level and attack it. Like you come at it, you really got to come at it when you first start with like a song. That's the most easiest way to start. You got to come at it with a song and just push that one song for as long as you can and try to get it shaking everywhere. And then from there, you got to get out of here a little bit, and you got to make it look lit outside there from here, because that's really what holds Connecticut back. I think I just answered your question, is you'll be lit as fuck here, but like people, it'll be like, all right, we see them all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't really leave here, and if they do leave, they don't come back.
Mm-hmm. So you feel as if like it has to be embraced even when you're not here. Yeah.
People, no one really ever comes back, and then if they do get lit, they don't go. I don't know if they don't go or it doesn't work out, but you got to get out of Connecticut, and you got to sell the record outside of Connecticut, you know, and attack these other markets. Whether it be, it's not just necessarily leaving Connecticut. You got to figure out how to be lit on social media, because there's a lot of people who are lit on social media that aren't lit in real life.
Facts.
And vice versa. There's a lot of people lit in real life and
not lit on social media.
Not lit on social media.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think Connecticut is missing, is somebody who knows how to do both of those correctly.
I'll feel you. So let's get into the tunes, D.mac.
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
So we played song in the beginning, right? It was you, Fo, RTA.
Yes.
Speak to us about the record.
I love that record. That's one of my favorite records on the tape. It's the Flashing Lights record. It's a little side note. A reason why I like that sample, it's a Kanye West sample, is because I always liked the music video where like I don't know if you ever seen it. They pull up in a Mustang in the middle of the desert in Vegas, and they pop the trunk. Well, this girl walks out. She's bad. She's like a Playboy model or something. I forgot because I looked into it. She walks away, takes off her fur coat, and she's in nothing but lingerie. Throws the coat on the ground, lights on fire, walks back to the car, opens the trunk, and Kanye's in the trunk in like a suit and tie. And then like she just grabs a shovel, and then the camera starts zooming out, and she's like looks like she's stabbing Kanye with the shovel, but you don't really see it because it's zooming out, and then like you could see Vegas in the background. So I was inspired by that music video, and I used that as the inspiration for a song I did the year prior called 6 Feet Tall, and we shot the video in Vegas with my boy Chris. We did it in the desert, kind of somewhere similar where you could see the skyline of Vegas, but we were off like not in the city, so it was kind of cool, and it was dark out a little bit, so it was wavy. So I always loved that record. So when we found the beat and it had the Kanye sample, I was like, this is crazy, because it was like almost full circle for me. So I really fuck with, and I've always liked Kanye. And his like music, it really pushed the culture. Like in the 2000s and even into the 2010s, he really changed music, and his production really is legendary. So the fact that we were able to do justice to that sample, I feel like was a blessing, and I appreciate it. That's why that's my favorite record, because it's just so like it's so. And then we shot a video to it where it's like. It was like one of those mic videos, but like they held the spotlight on it, so it was cool.
Go ahead. Now let's speak on the whole project in general, okay?
Yeah.
Boom. Speak to me about what the whole process was like when it came to picking the songs that you wanted to go on the album. And like, you know how people say like, okay, this song had no skips. Was your mindset going into the placement of the songs, I want people to be able to listen to it from start to finish?
Yeah. Okay. That's because the way I grew up consuming music was like you listen to the album from start to finish. That's how I always, especially when anything drops, I listen to it from start to finish. So I always appreciated music. Like Kanye kind of put me onto it the first, like where you listen to it and it's like all the way through, it's like it didn't even seem like the song changed. You know what I'm saying? So when I went into making my track list, I was really trying to go for that. So I was since being a DJ, I know how to like kind of transition between songs. So I was finagling and finessing ways to mix the records together so they seem seamless. Because there is kind of skits where like I had people talking on the end of some records, and then it's from like track 9 to 10 is like a whole, like in my mind I had like a movie sequence where like a girl like gets out. She's walking, gets in a car, it drives. And then like my vision was it was driving through like the mountains into a city, right? And so then it pulls up into a city and you can hear like city noises, but you hear the car. Then you pull up, you hear her get out. And then you hear the heels walk and she goes up into an elevator. This is all like at the end of the tracks between like it's not the last, but like from 8 to 10. Maybe from 8 to 11. And at the end, she gets into like a hotel room, and you hear like the hotel key card kind of thing. And then it was kind of telling a story with the song, with like it was like a girl was kind of creeping. You know what I'm saying? She was like creeping and linking up with somebody in a hotel was like the premises of that whole transition. And then the song kind of went with it.
That's creative.
Yeah.
That's creative. I'm not gonna lie. That's creative. So for the people who like the creativity, right? What do you have on the way for them? What can they expect? You know what I'm saying? Is there more projects? Is there singles? Is there visuals? What can the people expect?
So right now, I'm gonna take a step away from dropping like projects necessarily. I'm still gonna drop it. It's gonna be a little bit like a project. I'm gonna drop like 2 songs at a time, and they're gonna have like videos with them. Like, and the videos are gonna be both connecting.
Okay. Yes. What's up, y'all? It's Mr. Montana, and this podcast is now brought to you by 95 Trafficking. Make sure y'all use promo code RealRap For 15% off at checkout, man. Talk to
It's
the
a
people.
real
bro.
rap experience, man. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Montana.
Yes,
It's
yes.
95 Trafficking, man. We providing drip all across the globe, man. Tap in with us. It's 95trafficking.com. If you want to follow us on Instagram, 95_trafficking. 1F, 2Ks, ING.com. We providing the hoodies. We providing a lot of exclusive drip, and it's going to keep coming around, man. You already know what we doing.
Part 1, part 2.
Yes, it'll be either that or one would be a prelude, or one would be like the thing that's happening, and then the second video might be like the prelude to that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So people really got to stay tuned to understand what's going on. It might be part 1, part 2. Might be a prequel, sequel. It might be who knows.
Yes, because I try to have a storyline with my music videos.
I can see.
Because I feel like that keeps people more locked in, and it makes the song, people can appreciate the song more. And then I also, when we shoot these videos, I have the guy who shoots the videos, he came up with this idea where we take instead of putting, because a lot of my videos, they're cinematically shot, and so there's not a lot of performance footage. So we still take performance shots, but then I'll cut them up and I'll put them in the reels, or I'll drop them as visualizers on YouTube and shit like that. So like there's more than just one video for each song. You know what I'm saying?
Smart, man. Mizzle, we locked in, gang.
Thank you.
I'm staying tuned.
I'm here March 14th with you.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
March 14th. That's what I'm talking about, community building.
Community building.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
That's why we built the stage here. We got the setup here at the hub. We trying to build a community so these artists could come here. Like, you come here, you could perform your song, you could record a song, you get the beat from somebody who made it out here in Connecticut, and you could do a podcast fucking promote your song. It's like a whole label.
Real rap experience.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Word.
So that's what we're trying to do out here, man.
Word.
March 14th, y'all better be there. I'm on the 1s and 2s. I'm performing.
Hola.
Tap in.
Hola.
If you're not tapped in, you're missing out.
Word.
203.